Welcome to tutorial video on Lua. In this video I'm going to cover variables and conditional statements. To start, let's talk about variables. Variables in Lua do not have a type. Lua is a loosely typed scripting language, and so we don't have to include anything before the variable name. See right here on line 1, a equals 5. This both declares and assigns a value to something, a variable, a, with the value of 5. We also see the same thing on line 2 and line 3. Variables can have different values within Lua. They can have an integer value, 5. They can also have a string value, notice the open and close quotes, as well as a decimal value, 5.5. Notice that at the end of all of these is a missing semicolon. What's not actually missing. In Lua, semicolons are optional, unlike many other languages. So you see here, lines 1, 2, and 3 are the assignment and the defining of 3 different variables, a, b, and c, with the values of 5, the string hello, and the value of 5.5 respectively. We see here, if we run this, we'll see that. 5, hello, and 5.5. As part of the second part of this video, let's look at conditional statements. Conditional statements, like in other programming languages, allow us to test different values, one against another, in pairs. So we see here on line 9 the if keyword and then some conditional we're testing, a less than 6. Well, the value of a up here set on line 1 is 5, so 5 is less than 6. In Lua, conditional statements, especially those using the if keyword, follow an if, then, end sequence. So first we test if, then we have a conditional, and then something. In this case, print a is less than 6. We're also using an else if here. Using the normal if then end would do something if this conditional was true, or it would not do anything. So if, then do something. Else if works off a similar pattern, except in this case it tests another conditional. We have if a is less than 6, then do this. Else, that is, a is not less than 6, do something else. Test an additional conditional statement. We see here a is equal to 5. If a is equal to 5, and it is, then do this, and then end. Let's run this again. So we see our initial values, 5, hello, and 5.5, and we see a is less than 6, which is what we expect to see. And so using an if, else, if stage here, we see it does the first one, and if the first one is true, it does not do the second one. And so as we see, it did not run this, and we do not see a is equal to 5 over here. The next thing we see down here is b is not equal to 5. That's the output we see here. What comes as part of this conditional statement down here? If b is not equal to 5. The tilde equal in Lua is not equal. So we see here, if b is not equal to 5, then, and what we should do if this is true. And we see the end here. So b is not equal to 5 because b is the string hello. So we see b is not equal to 5, and we print b is not equal to 5, which we see over here in our output. Now, I'd like to take a second and talk about Whitespace. You'll notice each of these are tabbed in, or have at least one space. In Lua, with conditional statements, the content within them needs to be under them. That is, it needs to be tabbed in or have at least one extra white space away from the left margin. So we see here in our if-then, it's tabbed in, as well as the else-if-then is tabbed in, as well as the if-then-end is also tabbed in right here. You need to use at least one space, but you can also use the tab. So we see then, as a review of all of this, variables a, b, and c. A is equal to 5, b is equal to the string hello, c is equal to 5.5. When we assign variables, that is when we create them, we don't have to put anything in front of it. We can just put the name of the variable and what is equal to. A is equal to 5 on line 2, b is equal to hello on line 3, c is equal to 5.5. As we saw in our output, 5, hello, and 5.5. Then, in the use of the conditional statements, we see the if, then, end sequence. If, using the if keyword, some conditional we're testing, then, and what should happen if the conditional was true. We can also use if then else if to test additional things, knowing that if one of them is true, it won't run the rest of them. And that's what we saw. A is less than 6, and it did not run. A is equal to 5. Finally, we see down here, we can also test not equal to using the tilde equal combination, and we tested if B was not equal to 5, which is true. B is not equal to 5 because B is hello, and we saw the text. B is not equal to 5. Thanks for watching.